welcome. Thanks for joining us. A great night for baseball ahead on the show. It's the Miami Marlins taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. And we'll be back with the first pitch right after this. So just about set. Now the starting pitcher in this one, Yamamoto. What do we have on him?
Anytime you have 5 pitches to work with on the mound, that repertoire can be a real weapon in terms of keeping hitters off balance, man. It's one of those things that I'm going to be looking for in this one. Does he have a feel for all of those pitches, or is he just able to get 1 or 2 over in the strike zone where he wants? Now, it's tough to do to be able to command all those pitches, but if he can, he is going to be very tough for the opponent today.
The 1-0. That's a little bit low.
2-0.
And that's outside. There's a strike. Started to go after it. Now a look down to third. No swing. Gary Simmons with the call.
Well, he tried to nibble right there and just missed his spot. Hitter didn't offer at it. Now he has somebody to worry about over at first.
Kyle Stowers, the next up for the Marlins. That one blasted deep to right. That's back there. And that one is off the wall. And they strike first as they take a 1-0 lead.
Oh, that started and ended pretty quickly. No messing around right there.
He absolutely ripped that ball out front and almost got it out of here, man. Just a really strong, balanced swing, and a fraction of an inch different on the bat, and it is probably out of here.
Otto Lopez, the next up for the Marlins. And that one fouled off. The next pitch misses. 1-1. And there's a ball. 2-1 pitch is in there, and the count is even. Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout.
Oh, that's a curveball that I'm sure he wants back at the plate. 2 strikes, the sort of pitch you're hoping for. A bit of a mistake, and I'd say in a very hittable location. But clearly the break was enough to get him to swing through it.
Xavier Edwards gets a chance to hit here. Swings and lines a base hit into left field. Stowers around third. He'll score easily, and they take a 2-run lead. To second, but way too late. Safe there.
Well done. Drives in the run. Showed a willingness to drive that pitch the opposite way. Didn't get jumpy. Didn't try to pull the ball. He let it get deep. Took the barrel right to it, and then extended through the swing for the line drive base hit.
Man at second with 1 away. Now it's the rookie DH, Liam Hicks. And first offering is fouled off. And the righty deals. And that one wrapped foul. 0-2 now. That's down and in.
They've got him working a little harder in this first frame than he anticipated.
1-2 now. And a ball evens the count.
Well, he might have to look for a different put-away pitch right here, 2-2. He's already seen the curveball a couple of times in this at-bat, so might have it timed up and ready for it.
The next offering misses, and it's 3-2. Runner at second here, one gone. Now a fly ball to right center. Pajes on the move to his left. No trouble here. Puts it away for the out. That's out number 2. And time now for the Marlins lineup. They're dealing with a top-level arm on the mound, so this figures to be a tough matchup for them. What's the key to the offense today, Singy?
Well, Boog, I think when you got a guy that's this talented on the mound, you got to find ways to disrupt his rhythm, make him uncomfortable a little bit. The guys that can handle the bat and perhaps, bunt for a base hit, get him moving off.
Well, got to pause on that thought, as that'll do it for the inning. But 2 runs for them, and they jump ahead. Bottom half of inning number 1 coming up. It's the Marlins 2, the Dodgers coming to bat. Back here in L.A. and getting the start for Miami, Chris Paddock. What do you have on him, Chris?
Try to stay back for that power changeup. Speed differential between the fastball and the changeup is huge. Hitters, they have a hard time staying back.
Here's a big power threat. Shohei Ohtani. The wind of the pitch. And ball 1. It affects the game in so many ways, right? Your ability to come back is usually tied to power. If you can deliver a huge hit with one swing of the bat, it really changes your capability when you fall behind. Fouled off. He was late.
Well, after scoring runs, this is where you're looking for that shutdown inning. Get that hot team back in there to swing the bats.
One, two, bottom of the first. The pitch. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. The wind of the pitch. And the 1-2 misses to even the count. Popped up. That gets down for a hit. Throws to second. The tag, and they cut him down going for 2. Here comes Freddie Freeman up to hit. And first offering is fouled off. One of the things you don't think about with Freddie Freeman, he's really good defensively picking over there, but he's got a very good throwing arm. In high school, he could throw 95 plus from the mound. The other way, and that's a fair ball. Makes the turn and heads for second. And he's in there. It's a first inning double.
Back-to-back base hits. That was a thing of beauty. He may have been a little behind the pitch, but by getting that barrel into the hitting zone early on in his swing, he was able to meet it and still shoot a line drive down the line and left.
The batter now will be Will Smith. Swing and a pop-up. And makes the grab. And there are 2 outs. Time to check out the Dodgers lineup. And with their ace on the mound today, they're just looking to provide him a little bit of run support, and they'll see what they can do for him.
Boog, you have to be really careful when you've got a guy like this on the mound for you to not become a spectator. You know that he doesn't give up a whole lot, but sometimes guys get a little too comfortable and don't have an urgency to score runs. You have to make sure you put him in a situation where he can get the W, but also you guys can cruise to the finish line and not have to worry about a comeback in the end.
And a pitch. In the air out towards right center. Number 87 gliding back. Great effort as he's able to haul it in. And the inning is over. One left for L.A. They trail things here 2-0. Back here at Dodger Stadium. Now it's the right fielder, Owen Casey. The wind and the pitch. Upstairs. Yamamoto, when you talk about his skill set, he stops teams from getting hits. That's the thing that he's so good at. He's just really difficult to get base hits against. Next offering in the dirt. Now 2-0.
Well, he's got power and he has a reputation of being a strike thrower. So to his advantage, he can expand the zone.
The 2-0 is in for a strike.
He can throw that fastball slightly above the top of the strike zone to get hitters to chase. He can also break it off because when you're geared up for good velocity, it's hard to stay back. You have to make a decision really early.
The 3-1 is on the way. And a curve drops in for a strike. So what's the approach from an offensive perspective against a guy that doesn't give up a lot of hits?
I think you just kind of have to lean out over the plate and take your base. But seriously, you just have to try to shorten up. I think guys choking up on the bat a little bit to have some more bat control, be a little bit quicker, and don't get greedy.
And up next for Miami, number 8. And a foul ball. Oh, and 1 now. They say it went.
No ball, 2 strikes.
That's to third. Sends it across to first. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the second. And at the plate for Miami, Connor Norby. First pitch just misses. Kicks and deals. And a good eye there. Line drive, and that should be extra bases. Now he'll turn for second. Now he launches a throw over his head. He's in there.
Clearly that was a solid double all the way. Nice swing of the bat right there, but that just can't happen on defense. Getting the ball back into the infield. You've got to make a decent throw your infielders can handle. Just gave him an extra 90 feet for free.
Now it's the Marlins leadoff hitter, number 87. Little bouncer out in front of the plate. Gets it to first. That's the third out. A hit and an error in the inning, but they fail to score. Now to the bottom of the second. It's the Marlins. And welcome back. Bottom of the second. Here's Teoscar Hernandez. First offering misses the mark. The wind to kick the pitch. Good eye right there. Patrick Johnson calling the balls and strikes.
Pretty standard zone for Johnson. Sometimes he might get a little jumpy, a little excited and expand the zone, but usually you at least feel like the guy on the mound is earning it, and that's important because you got to make guys earn it.
Out towards right center field. And that should be extra bases. Into second easily with a leadoff double.
Well, that was one of those high percentage advantage counts where batting averages are just so much higher. Man, that feels so good to shoot an absolute bolt the opposite way. Split the gap and know that you've got extra bases right off the bat. That's the kind of thing hitters dream about when they're falling asleep at night.
Max Muncy at the dish. Liner, base hit. Hernandez headed for the plate. He scores, and it's a one-run game.
Well, clearly he was ready to hit right there. That's a good sound coming off the bat, man. And as he connected out front and lifted into the outfield, that's one of those swings where you just don't even feel the ball hit the barrel. That's a pure stroke.
And up next for Los Angeles, Andy Pages. That one's in there, 0-1. Nobody out, runner at first.
With 2 strikes, may see some movement over there at first base, try to stay out of a double play here.
Got him. Now 1 away. Kim steps to the plate for the Dodgers. Rips that one to right. Casey makes the catch. 2 away. Alex Freeland steps to the plate for the Dodgers. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter. The 0-2. Gets a piece and stays alive. And the right-hander deals. Foul ball, still 0-2. Muncy leads off first with 2 down to the inning. And that's outside. It's a ball and 2 strikes. And that just misses.
It's a good take.
Comes the 2-2. Spoils the 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. 9th pitch of the at-bat due next. Next offering is down low. 3-2 down. Shohei Ohtani in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance to make a big impact here. And he walked him.
Well, that's a nice job of grinding out that at bat. Saw a lot of pitches and ends up drawing the walk. Very gritty.
Here's Shohei Ohtani. That one's in there. 0-1. Two on, 2 outs.
And a bat like this is almost over as it begins. In this situation, you have no idea what the next pitch is going to be. You just got to hope that you can make contact.
Kicks and fires. Good job to fight that one off. 2 outs, Couple of base runners at first and second. Swings and misses, struck him out.
He's in a tough spot, had to make a great pitch, did it, got the strikeout, gets out of the jam. Clearly, he's happy with those results.
Back here at the ballpark, now the number 2 hitter, Kyle Stowers. Swing and a ball popped up. Freeman under it. Calls it in, and there's one away.
That hanging breaking ball looks so juicy to the hitter, and nothing more frustrating when you miss that pitch and you pop out. He's going to have to think about that till his next at bat.
Lopez measures 5 feet 10 inches, 185 pounds. He joined the team as a free agent. Lopez stands in here, tried to hold back his swing there, but went around. His first at bat was a strikeout. Slice the other way. That's a base hit. Around first, heading for 2. The throw into second, and that's a double.
I love the approach he had right there with that pitch. Not trying to do too much, but still looking to drive it, and that's exactly what he's able to do into the opposite field gap for the double.
Xavier Edwards, the next up for the Marlins. Singled and drove in a run his first time through. And it's fouled away. One out and a runner at second. That misses. And 1-1. Man at second. Swing and a pop-up. Foul territory for the catcher. 2 away now. Liam Hicks now at the plate. He's 0 for 1. And that's in there for strike 1. At the belt and fires. Now he can't squeeze it behind the plate. Tag, save. He's into third on the wild pitch.
Well, that right there can be a tough read as a runner on second to see if the ball's gotten away enough to move to third. You have to be sure you can make it because you're already in scoring position. Well, he was sure there, and now he's only 90 feet away from scoring.
Right side, hard hit. Throw on to Freeman. Third out, and that ends the frame. Marlins leave 1. Welcome back. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. Freddie Freeman up to the dish. Bounce to the right. Edwards. Tosses to first. And a quick out, number 1. And up to the plate is Will Smith. Flied out his first time. That one clubbed out towards left center. That'll be extra bases. Around first, digging for 2. And the tying runs at second base with a double.
Man, those are the types of hits where you don't feel any vibration in your hands whatsoever. Such a good feeling. That pretty much split the zone down the middle, and those are the ones where you got to make them pay.
1 out, runner at second. And next will be the cleanup hitter, Kyle Tucker. He's 0 for 1. There's the strike. The pitch. Checks his swing. Now an appeal to third. No, he held up. The 1-2. Oh, he hit him. And that got him pretty flush. He had him 1-2, and he ends up hitting him with a pitch.
Well, he's just glad that he got hit with an off-speed pitch there instead of a fastball. Man, that would have hurt a lot more if it had velocity.
And now Teoscar Hernandez. And the first pitch misses for ball one.
The last thing he wants is to hit the ball on the ground, but I wouldn't expect many pitches up in the zone. They'll be pitching for a double play in this spot.
And now it's even up. 1 out. Runners at first and second. Next one is off the plate. 2-1.
Could be some action here on this next pitch. Couple runners on. Probably a challenge pitch coming.
And a 2-1 hammered but foul. Maybe a 2-ball. 5. To first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe. And now it's Max Muncy. 1 for 1 with a single so far. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. All loaded up, dangerous hitter at the plate. And that's a little bit high.
I think ultimately you want to tie him up, get the ball in on the plate so that he can't get the barrel to it and hit it to the outfield.
Up and in, 2 balls and a strike.
This is a situation where the hitter is looking for something up in the zone that he can get his arms extended. What you have to be careful of is that pitch that's up, that's in on your hands. That'll pop you up in the infield, and that's exactly what the pitcher wants.
Next offering clips the zone count even at 2. 1 out, base is full. Two on the way. Waves at the bender for the strikeout.
Well, this is where the team aspect really comes into play on the offensive side of the game, right? I mean, missed opportunity to tie it up with the runner at third, 1 out, couldn't put the ball in play. So now it's time to pick him up. And that's where good teams, they go to. They operate on this level of next man up. That mentality is what causes them to win series, get into the postseason. That helps keep the energy and morale high in the dugout.
The 0-1. Yeah, that's a little high. Smith, the runner at third. Tucker on second. Hernandez on at first with 2 down. The 1-1 is fouled off. The 1-2. Bounce to the right side. Throw is low, and he can't pick it. And the runner is in to score from third. Bad mistake there.
Not every base hit is a liner into the gap, just like not every strikeout's a perfect slider down and away. I mean, right there, he just put the ball in play on the ground and gave it his all to get down to first for the knock.
At the plate, Kim. And first offering is fouled off. Two outs, bases are full. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes.
Spin rate's outstanding on that high fastball. Really tough to hit.
Popped in the air, left field, and it drops in. One run's in. Safe. And they lead by 2.
Well, a big swing of the bat right there. Not a bad pitch by any means. Down and away, right on the corner of the zone. Just a better swing, Boog. Stayed through it and hit it hard the other way.
First and second, 2 outs. Alex Freeland steps to the plate for the Dodgers. That's in for a strike. First and second, 2 down. That one hit to right. And that'll fall for a base hit. The throw in. It's off the mark and he scores. And they lead by 3.
That's now 3 hits in a row for the offense.
With the way defenders track down balls these days, I mean, both from the infield and in the outfield, there really aren't a lot of base hits on balls hit like that. But there's always a little room back behind the first and second baseman to drop a lawn dart in there, and he found a way.
Shohei Ohtani up to the dish. There's a strike.
Well, they've been able to score 4 runs off of him in this inning, and this is where you want to just max out. Get as much as you can. Give him one of those tough innings where it's going to be hard for him to recover in the next one.
Corners are occupied with 2 down. Going to count 1 and 2. Miami's bullpen with some action. Lake Backer appears to be getting ready. And I'm sure he's feeling some nerves. This would be his major league debut. Here comes a pitch. Bounce to the left side. Base hit and a run comes in.
Picks himself up an RBI. Just found a way to slap that ball down the third baseline. That's really excellent bat control, and it kind of goes back to all those drills you see hitters do off the tee where it's placed in different spots. That was just nice.
Freddie Freeman will hit next. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. One of the things you may notice with Freddie Freeman, he always wears long sleeves. And you go back and remember his mom, Rosemary, she died of melanoma, skin cancer, back in 2000. And that's one of the ways that Freddie honors her every game. Line drive, base hit down the line. Freeland around third. 1 run is in. Here's Ohtani flying around third. He's also in to score. It's 8-2.
They are really feeding off each other. That's 5 hits in a row. Nice job of driving that pitch the other way on a line. You know, hitters, they take so many reps in the cages working on going to the opposite field, and it doesn't always translate into the game, but right there it did, and he did it perfectly.
Here comes the skipper, and we're going to see a pitching change in this spot. Chris Paddock won't go any further tonight, and this is one he'd like to forget. Back with a new arm after this. Lake Backer into the game.
I think it's got to be a little tough coming in out of the pen when your guys are trailing so big on the scoreboard. Just doesn't have the same intensity to it, but he's got to find a way because these batters count the same for his stats, obviously, regardless of the score.
Will Smith, the next to hit, 1 for 2. First offering, and it just misses. 2 outs. And 1 in scoring position. Next one misses. 2-0. The pitch. Swing and a hard hit liner up the middle to base hit. Runner holds at third, so even with 2 outs, they didn't risk it.
Couple of hits in a row for him here. Just a cookie down the middle. I mean, those are the ones you dream about. The ones in the cage, you're just hoping you get in the ball game. Right down the middle, not a whole lot of velocity, right on top of it.
Here's Kyle Tucker. Ball 1, no strikes.
Not the easiest thing when you're talking about a guy that's, you know, perhaps is going to be in the rotation, you know, maybe a long relief guy, to not start an inning, to come into an inning with pressure on it and try to get yourself comfortable. I think it was sitting off speed right there because he just let the fastball go by.
The 1-1. And another ball. Freeman at third. Smith at first. 2 out of the inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count with 2 outs. And a swing and a miss. And that's that. But they take the lead on a huge 7-run outburst. 3 innings complete. It's the Dodgers 8 and the Marlins. Back here at Chavez Ravine. Start of the 4th. And here's the catcher, Agustin Ramirez. That hits the dirt. 1-0.
Well, every pitcher wants run support, and having a lead is nice, but it can be challenging for some guys. I think keeping the mindset to attack instead of trying to be too fine and have too much finesse. Go after hitters and get quick outs.
Pajes racing over to make the catch. Owen Casey, the next up for the Marlins. Caught looking his first time up. Tucker on the move. Brings it in with a nice running grab. And there's 2 down. Down the third baseman, number 8. And that one just misses. A ball and no strikes. And fouled off. Two outs. He swings and fouls one off. And here it comes. Fouled off the plate. They'll do it again. Next offering is fouled back. And a 1-2 again. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball.
5 foul balls in a row. I have no idea what that feels like, but you got to love this battle. Just wondering who's going to blink first.
Next pitch is outside, and the count's even at 2.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
That's inside. 3-2 now.
Wow, this guy's really battling up there as if his run is the game-winning run. I love his tenacity.
He swings and hits a fly ball center field and puts the squeeze on that, and that ends the inning. And 1-2-3 go the Marlins, and it's still 8-2. Bottom of the 4th, now the left fielder, Teoscar Hernandez. Backer back to work. There's a strike.
You know, these Dodgers putting together some really good at-bats in this game. There's been a lot to like with how they're approaching their chances at the plate. Looking at the numbers, they've got 4 hits when they're behind in the count. That says these guys are absolutely battling at the plate and just not giving up, despite what the count says.
Oh, 2 now. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. And the 0-2 stays alive. The pitch. Runs it up to 96 to record the punch out. So he gets the call and picks up the strikeout looking.
Sometimes with a good hitter at the plate, he'll be the one to get the benefit of the doubt if he lays off on a close pitch like that, but just not right there. Strike zone definitely expanded a little bit with 2 strikes.
Here's Max Muncy, that funky Muncy. First pitch, and that's in for a strike.
And if you're a manager or a hitting coach, you love to see your guys really fighting for every at-bat, every pitch. It tells you a lot about how they showed up to the ballpark today.
Oh, 1 down.
Off the plate, ball 1.
Next pitch misses. 2-1. That one ripped, but foul. Right-hander kicks, deals. And a foul ball. He stays alive. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a high fly ball out there towards left field. Makes the grab on the run. 2 down. And at the plate for the Dodgers, Andy Pajes. And there's the strike. Cut on and miss. Struck him out. And good work there as he gets a 1-2-3. Dodgers go down quietly. They lead at 8-2. Back here in L.A. Ready now for the 5th inning. And here's the first baseman, Connor Norby. Right down to shoot. And that's strike 1.
Well, you got to give him credit out there on the mound. This outing started off a little shaky, but he's found a way to settle in and turn this into a pretty good start. Kind of shows you a lot about his mental makeup as a pitcher.
Pitch misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 is fouled off.